It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Monday morning. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Great to be in your company at the start of a brand new week and some exciting news from the world of technology, where researchers from the University of Toronto have developed a new app that can perform a number of medical checkups, such as a person's blood pressure, heart rate, and their risk of suffering a stroke, directly from a short selfie video. What? Yes. Here to unpack this amazing technology story with us is our friend in tech, Bryan Smith. Great to have you with us.
Thanks,
and always
man.
good
Brian,
to be discussing
always,
some of the
always.
cool stories out there, man.
This one is so cool because I don't know how many people find themselves not feeling well, but also lazy to go see a doctor. I
Or just
certainly
plainly
find myself,
disorganized.
just like going, I'm sick, but I really don't feel like
Let me
going.
take a practical selfie real quick.
So how is this? So how was this app started? Why was it started? What was the motivation behind this?
So to your point earlier, this is sort of the idea that not to replace doctors entirely, but rather to create an easy way to create a medical reference, to check up on your health if you're not particularly feeling well and feel what the root cause might be.
Yeah.
So the technology at play that researchers have created here is actually really, really interesting. So this essentially, if you consider the way most smartphone cameras work, is that, especially if you have a facial recognition sensor on your smartphone, what it does is essentially bounces light off your face to create a 3D model.
Yeah.
What researchers have done is that they figured out a way to use all these same sensors through a method that's called transdermic optical imaging. And to break that bit of jargon down, what essentially that means is that instead of light bouncing off your face, light penetrates just slightly under the surface of your skin to read the circulation of blood throughout your vascular system, for example, and to read traces of melanin and hemoglobin throughout your bodily system.
Wow.
And that essentially creates an entire window into various different health concerns, all the way, as you said, from blood pressure to risk of a stroke.
Wow. That's
This is
incredible.
insane.
I mean, how reliable is the information you're getting from a mere smartphone possibly diagnosing you medically?
So that's the great question, right? So, I mean, necessarily any information that you're taking from a piece of equipment that isn't certified medical grade isn't going to be as accurate as you would get by going into a hospital or going into a doctor's room. However, this is a pretty good indication researchers have found at identifying latent problems. So this is essentially the first step that one might take to diagnose why they might not be feeling well, and then follow up with a doctor thereafter.
Wow, I'm just imagining the new trend of selfie captions
Yes,
that'll
and
now be
diagnosis.
coming up
Yeah.
on like Instagram, like
Health
just
100%.
checking
Yeah.
my health.
Because the thing is, you might be
keeping
actually
it
able to
100.
share it from the actual
That's
photo
what
of the
I
results.
mean,
It's like
like,
share to social media.
Check out my BP. So good.
BP
So
game
good.
report.
So good.
But how's it? So do you think this might become common in the future? Might we find ourselves not having to pay doctors' visits at their practices now?
So as these researchers have cited, this is the sort of app that they envision might become far more commonplace in the future.
Yeah.
And is essentially a bridge between, visiting a doctor or hospital room can be costly, the means of transport they might be getting there costly itself. However, using this sort of app might be able to give you an indication if there's an existing health problem, whether perhaps your symptoms are playing up again, or might help a doctor immediately diagnose and readily diagnose any illnesses that are present far more quickly.
Oh man, that's extraordinary stuff. Exciting news, man. Wow. And I wonder how many of you out there would trust your smartphone to give you an immediate medical diagnosis. Would you trust that
No,
100%?
I absolutely wouldn't.
How about you let us know on our social media pages? Thanks a lot, Bryan Smith. Hashtag Expresso Show when you share those stories with us. Leanne takes quite a few selfies, doesn't she?
She does. I can see her going,
I wonder.
slaying that BP on a Monday. Yes, Lord!